Hi, I'm Mike, and in this video, we'll be setting up my new podcast production studio. Hi, Mike Migas here from Casefile and Casefile Presents Shows. On this channel, we're releasing videos on podcasting and audio production, so if you enjoy the content, hit subscribe and notification bells. We were lucky to get a house, get a mortgage, and we're moving to Bristol tomorrow. And in that new house, we'll be setting up my new podcasting room, podcast production room, and I want to take you through that process. But first I wanted to show you how I worked for the last year and a half. So for the last 18 months we've been renting this house behind me, and it's a nice 2-bedroom bungalow in West London. That's Benji, that's our dog. The reason that we've rented this house is actually that little outbuilding here that I've turned into my office/studio. We can get inside. So, I like this room because it had enough space for me to set up my keyboard, 88 keys, and audio hammer, my chair, my desk behind me. I had space on the walls, that kind of thing. In this corner, there was another desk, a little bit of storage. And it felt like actually going to work. I had to leave house, cross the garden and get into this room. So that's all good, electricity, I had light in here, I had heating, now there's winter, and I run the internet via power outlet, so I had to get a booster. But of course, this place had its faults. And first of all is that it's not isolated, it's not acoustically treated. Isolation wasn't that big of a deal. When you close the windows, when you close the door, it's okay. I could hear things like birds outside or planes going above, but it was okay. Acoustic treatments, that's the big one, because then of course I wasn't able to use my monitors, and I have a really nice pair of Adam A5Xs. But for the last 5 years I kinda mastered or got used to working on headphones. But I like to use my monitors as well. In this space, it's like a thin wood or whatever, I couldn't really do it. So I was using them just for simple editing, watching YouTube videos as such. The other thing is that in winter, this place gets super cold, and this is an electric heater, and it gets really warm when I switch that on really fast. And I don't know if it's because of that wood or whatever, it's really dry in here as well, so it's kind of a sauna-like. On the other hand, in summer, it gets really hot really fast, and to be able to spend hours in here, like peak summer, August or July, I had windows, I had doors open, I had fan on, and that's obviously not ideal when you're working on audio. Overall, it was decent because it was an upgrade, and I knew that I had to have my space to do my work properly. That's why I'm excited when to the house that we're moving, I will be able to set up the room properly the way I want. Okay, we've just moved to a new house. Benji's still sleeping, he's next to the stairs, and the room that I will be occupying is upstairs. So I just want to quickly show you. So there are 3 rooms upstairs, 2 double bedrooms and 1 office space. Now, my brother Matt, who's actually recording it, he's moving with us. So he's taking one of the double bedrooms, and I'm taking the office space, the office room. So just want to show you. It's still a bit of a mess, boxes and bags everywhere. Here's the office room, which will be turned into my studio soon. It's kind of a small squarish room, which is not ideal, and it's got a bit of a ring to it. I don't know if you can hear it on this microphone, but I can hear it when I clap my hands. So I'll set up speakers there, desk, I'll have the piano here on my right hand side. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna paint the room in a nice sort of a greyish color, and then I will set up my system so I can do a little bit of work. But I did also order some acoustic panels from GIK Acoustics, and they should come in a couple of weeks. So there will be sidewall panels, one at the ceiling. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not really sure what to do about this lamp yet, because there should be a panel there, so I have to think about that. There will be one monster bass truck, I think how they call it, at the door, and then three corner bass straps from the ceiling to the floor, one in this corner and on this side next to windows as well. So that will be in a couple of weeks, but we got painting first to do. Okay, it's evening, it's around 6 in the evening in the UK, it's already dark, and the room is painted. Come have a look. And as you can see, the skirting boards are kind of a dark bluish color. And then we went for kind of a grey paint for the walls and whitish for the ceiling. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up my desk, my system, maybe my keyboard, my speakers as well. We'll be back in the morning. I'll show you the temporary setup because I'm still waiting for the acoustic panels. And once I get them, I'll then do kind of proper measurements. I'm thinking of renting a measurement microphone as well, so we can test how the room sounds before and after hanging, the panels, the bass straps, and so on. I will take you through that as well. But the room is looking really nice. I'm thinking about having some ambience lights, maybe some few features on the walls as well. But that will depend where the acoustic panels actually go. But I'll see you in the morning. Okay, so we got the acoustics. They came in today in the afternoon. Obviously the house still in a bit of a mess as we've just moved in, so we're living out of boxes, but the acoustics are here and that's the most important thing. The delivery was very quick actually. I had a tracking number, so I knew it will be delivered today, and no problems with the ordering, no problems with the delivery. I had emailed with one of the guys from GIK Acoustics before ordering. I sent him sort of the measurements of the room. He advised me what to get. It's called Room Kit 1 or something like that. So I've ordered that. So the whole process was really good from the customer service point of view as well as delivery. And well, we'll see about the installation, but I got a sticker here that says GIK instructions and accessories inside, because I did order a ceiling mount for one of the panels. The tri-traps should be freestanding in the corners. For wall panels, I got little picture hooks, so that should work hopefully. But for the ceiling panel, like I said, I did order the special mount. The issue is I have that bulb hanging out there, so I'm not really sure how to fix that, but we'll see. These boxes are absolutely massive, as you can see. I'm surrounded by them, and I don't know how they're gonna fit in that small room upstairs. It's pretty full as it is now. And let's actually unpack the boxes. So I got the measurement mic today. It's a Sonarworks with a trial of reference 4. software, calibration software, because I want to check it out first. Now the setup here is temporary. I don't have any acoustics put up yet, but I wanted to measure the room, how it sounds, on its own. And from what I've so far gathered or noticed is that there is quite a lot of build-up, bass build-up. There is an echo, of course. So hopefully the acoustics will tame some of it. But if not, I will then start testing the reference for software. This is the trial version. And if it works, if it helps with the mixes, then I'll consider buying it in full. But this is going to be for another video. For now, let's measure the room as it stands. Okay, so I've done the measurements of this room. But first thing, we didn't actually need to set it up on a stand. I've done it because that was the old way of measuring studios of rooms or rooms. You set the measurement mic in the middle and you run the sine waves and then it builds the picture. This was actually a bit more clever than that, and the way it works is during the measurement process I had to hold the microphone and then move around the room. There was about 40 little spots where I had to move about. So you probably see, the stand and microphone on the stand, but when the measurement started, I had to take it off. I didn't know that, so that's very clever. The microphone has its own ID that you load up into the software because every microphone sounds a little bit different. So they download the calibration profile, which adjusts the results as well. But let's have a look at the results. Again, that was just for fun, no acoustics. The speakers are not evened out properly, and it shows. And the results are actually quite funny and terrible. So it shows you left and right, and they diverge quite dramatically here and at the top. Again, that's because they're not properly positioned. But yeah, the room itself sounds terrible, and I was correct that there is a huge build-up of low end. So we'll see about 70 Hertz, that's plus 6 dB. Just terrible. 100 Hertz is okay, but then we reach like 9 dB around from 130 to about even 200 Hertz of build-up. Then it comes down. There's little peaks, but they kind of quite alright. In here is like 1 decibel, but there are peaks and troughs throughout. Then we have a big dip around 1 kilohertz. It's about 3 dB. Evens out, and then another sort of a dip of 2 decibel, and then it goes down as we progress into higher frequencies. So I saved the profile name as No Acoustics, just to see how it compares with the profile when we put up the acoustic panels in this room. So I've started setting up the acoustics, and the idea is, because of how this room looks, is to have 2 traps, which are bass traps, in each of the 3 corners, because obviously in a 4th corner there's a door, so I cannot do that. However, the company sent me the wrong customized bass traps for the corners, so I will be waiting for a replacement. But that's not a problem, as now I wanna hang the sidewall panels, the ceiling panel, and then try to fit the monster bass trap to the rear door. But let's start with the sidewall panels, and to do that sort of correctly, we need a mirror, a little bit of tape to mark the spot on the wall where to hang it, and someone to help. And the idea is that I will be sitting in my listening position like that, and the helper will put that mirror on the wall like that, and then slide it alongside the wall. And when I see the speaker appearing in the mirror, that's the first reflection point. And ideally you have two, so you'll have the LED reflection point from that speaker, from the right speaker, and from the left speaker. So you ideally have two panels to cover each. Obviously, because of this room, it's really tiny, we will only be looking at the left speaker and left reflection point, and I'll only have one panel for that. Obviously, the right speaker, they're not as wide, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the marks on the walls look, and then we'll try to hang the first panel. Then we'll do the second, then maybe the ceiling. But if you have a look up, there is a lamp or a light, and it's a pendant light on the cable, and I'm not really sure what to do about that yet, because the panel will go directly where that lamp is. So either extending the cable and having that lamp outside, or my other idea is to have it off permanently and getting some sort of freestanding tall lamp for this little room. But we'll see how we go. We now have all acoustics in place. So we've got two side panels, one at the ceiling, and bass traps, two in each corner. In the back corner we have again two tri-traps, which is this triangle bass traps, but there's the door here, so I couldn't fit the triangle ones, so we went for a rectangle bass trap with a scatter plate inside, but I'll make another video just about the acoustics. For now, we're ready to measure the room and then compare how it sounds with and without acoustics. But first, we need to check that the speakers are in the correct place. So I crawled under the desk and we can do the measurements. Of course, I've done it before, but I just want to show you what I've done. So I know that the middle of the room where I'm sitting is sort of middle of my iMac, middle of the desk, and ideally you want to sit in the first third of the room. You don't want to sit in the middle of the room, that's like the worst position. In here I don't really have many options, it's a small room, but still I am a little bit further near the window. Then we're looking at the perfect triangle with the speakers, so we're measuring from sort of middle of the speakers there, and with the measuring tape showing you how it should be. So sort of my head, my ears should be around there, and the speakers should be pointing at the same angle, sort of between the tweeter and the main membrane. Also, what's really important is that the speakers should be from the equal distance from the side walls. So again, we can sort of, let's measure from the edge like that, and measure the same, because otherwise you'll have reflections that are coming at different speeds and different angles as well, so that's important. And from the back wall, obviously here's the window, so be a little bit different, but if there's another back wall, then again the same distance, and that of course affects the stereo image. So for example, if this speaker would be at a different angle or sitting somewhere else, then I would hear it differently, left to right. So, we're looking at having that sort of perfect triangle, equal distances and whatnot. But like I said, I've done it a little bit earlier. Just want to show you how I've done it. And now we're ready for measurements. Okay, so I've got my microphone, SonarWorks. I have the SonarWorks, the measurement software. And I have to close the door, put the bass trap on the door, and then measure the room. We'll see how different it sounds, how different the frequency response is when we compare it to, the same room with no acoustics. Okay, so I've put the monster bass trap up on the door. It's got a scatter plate inside. I've got the microphone calibrated by SonarWorks, and we're ready to measure the speakers. So let's start the software, measure the speakers. I've already selected the options, which is phantom power, 48 volts is switched on, microphone input is not routed directly, that's fine. Single audio interface is used for mic input, audio interface sample rate. So here's the microphone ID. Again, it's already set, and that's the calibration from SonarWorks for this particular microphone. So we all ready to go. Next, we select measurement microphone input channel, which is analog 1 on ID 4. Need to put the gain up. We got it, and output is analog 1 and 2, and we can test. Again.
Volume. Left speaker. Right speaker.
It's fine. So we got that.
Please adjust the volume of your output device. My voice should sound at normal conversation volume. Left speaker. Right speaker.
Sounds fine. Adjust the microphone input gain, and that's what we're doing first. Keep the microphone within listening spot, so that's about here. Mic at same level as my ears, between the speakers and away from my body. And we are now adjusting the gain. Verification complete, and then the distance between speakers. Stand on the outer side of your speakers, and we are measuring position the microphone 1 to 2 centimeters from the center of the mid-range driver. Okay. And now we're doing the right speaker. Okay. Review dimension. It asks us about the dimensions. Now we're doing measurements. Ear level between speakers, away from the body. Okay, let's start. Okay, we are done. Let's see the results. Okay, so definitely some issues there. About 3 dB, 70 Hertz. There's a dip around 100 Hertz. Again, this is a problematic area. So around 120, 130 Hertz dip again 200 hertz, about 2-3 dB. Left it's more around 400, and then a dip around 1, and then we have a slope in higher frequencies. I will name it, the profile name, acoustics, and then it has been saved. Now we can launch reference system wide. Got open profile. Okay. So we can now compare and just see before. So we have no acoustics, and headphones. So we fixed a little bit of a low end. However, this area seems to be a little bit problematic now, which is interesting. And the high end is less problematic. Now I'm gonna test that, listen to different sounds, maybe do the measurement again, just to see, if there is a change. Because what I've also heard is that each time you measure it, shows the frequency response a little bit differently. But that's it for now. So there is improvement thanks to acoustics, but obviously there are problematic areas in some spots. But that's why we got the SonarWorks reference 4. The software will adjust and flatten this frequency response curve, and I will also make a video about that. I'm still on trial, but I will be buying it. I mean, the software is pretty amazing. But that's it for as far as the measurement goes. Okay, so that is it. This video was a little bit different, a little bit longer, a little bit raw, shot from hand, but you did see my old setup, me moving to the new place and setting up this new room. Of course, it's not ideal. The acoustics help, the SonarWorks helps. I'm hoping to do a little bit more work on my monitors, but obviously I will be using my headphones as well. Now there will be another video, which is sort of a tour of the studio, where I will go in detail about the whole setup. But I think that's it. So we've done the measurements. Again, I'll try them out again, see if there is any difference. I will be doing more videos about software, what I'm using, the acoustics and the setup. The room's not ideal. The biggest drawback is it's small, but it looks pretty great, and I think it'll be a really comfortable place to do work, at least for some time, until I move to a different one. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, check out my website, mikemigas.com, and the rest of my channel. For now, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.